everyone, this is Mia Lishpa, a second year medical student in Uzbekistan right now, and today I'm going to answer some of the most asked questions about MBBS in Uzbekistan. I have a list of questions that I would be answering right now. So the first most asked question over here is MBBS from Uzbekistan valid in India? So the answer is yes, it is valid in India, but you have to check for its recognition, its NMC approval, its licensing exam. All these three things should be checked. I have a list of universities right over here. These universities are valid in India. Plus, you have to get eligible marks in your NEET exam so that you can get into this university, and your degree would be valid in India as well. So the second question over here is, how much does MBBS in Uzbekistan actually cost? So the answer to this is, it depends. It depends on university to university. There are a lot of universities in Uzbekistan, and it depends on which university you're going to. So if you want a brief about how the cost is and how it works, and I will even tell you about the hidden cost. A lot of consultants don't tell you about the hidden cost. I'll tell you about it. You just have to go and click the link in the description. Over there, you can talk to my consultant. She'll tell you everything, each cost, the hidden cost as well. And we have zero consultancy charges. So that's the best part. So the third question over here is Uzbekistan safe for girls? So the answer is yes, absolutely it is safe for girls. It is a lot more safer than India, and the streets are very safe, the public transport, everything, every place is safe. Even in the night time when you roam around, there's nothing to be worried about. Okay, so moving on to the fourth questions. Can my parents visit me? And the answer is absolutely. Yes, your parents can visit you on tourist visa in Uzbekistan, and they can meet you whenever they want. Do I need to know Uzbek or Russian? Okay, so this is a question a lot of students are confused about, but on my take, you should study Uzbek and prefer Uzbek more than Russian, because the locals over there speak Uzbeki language, and the local vendors over there, the shopkeepers, all of them speak the local Uzbeki language. A very few people speak Russian language over there. The next question here is, what happens after the NEET qualification? After the qualification or admission process gets started, you have to submit your documents, your invitation letter comes, your visa comes, and then you have to fly to Uzbekistan. Can I eat Indian food over there? Yes, you can absolutely eat Indian foods over there. The hostels, they have an Indian mess, and they have an Indian chef as well. And if you ever get bored by the hostel food, there are a lot of Indian restaurants over there that you can eat from. There are local Uzbeki foods too, but we prefer Indian foods over there. So yeah. Will I get a job after MBBS abroad? Yes, you can absolutely get a job after MBBS abroad. If you have already qualified your NEET, and if you give your FMGE exam, you can definitely get a job in India as well. Or you can clear some another exam, or you can get some other job in some other country. It is totally okay to get a job after MBBS in Uzbekistan. Why choose Uzbekistan over Russia, Kazakhstan, and Georgia? I'll make a detailed video on this question, comparing all these countries and why Uzbekistan is the best choice and why I chose Uzbekistan personally. So the next question over here is, why should I trust you and not any other consultant? So the answer is no, you should not trust me, neither any other consultant blindly. Do not trust any consultant blindly. You should be in your senses while choosing a consultant, because it is a really important part while moving abroad. So in our case, to build trust, we have zero consultancy fee for all the students, and you can give your fee directly into the university account instead of giving it to any sort of consultant. You have no need to give any kind of fee to the consultant. You can give your fee directly into the university's official account, and you can give your mess fee and your hostel fee once you reach Uzbekistan inside your hostel. So yeah, we give that facility to build trust and to let you know that you are in safe hands. So the next question is, how cold does Uzbekistan get? So Uzbekistan does get really cold during winters. It snows over there during the winters. In January, February, it snows over there. And you have to bring really thick jackets and some fur boots to stay warm during those seasons. So the next question is, what should I pack from India? Hopefully I'll make a separate video on this, on what you should pack from India to Uzbekistan. But for now, my take is that you should pack some really thick puffer jackets and some really thick fur boots. Because it is really cold over there during the winters, but it does get really hot during the summer. So you have to face both type of weathers over there. Can I work part-time while studying? So the answer is yes. If you want, you can work part-time while studying. There is no restriction, you can't work. How much pocket money do I need every month? So in hostels, the food is usually provided, so there is no such need to eat your food from outside. But if you still want some personal expenses, it depends from person to person. It depends on how much a person has their personal expenditure. But the hostel provides all the facilities. Other than that, it depends on the person. So the next question is, how difficult the exams are. So the exams are not that difficult from my personal experience. We don't have written exams over there. We have CBT exams. We get a computer in which we have to mark MCQs. We don't have to type anything. We just get MCQ marks like we get in NEET, but there is no negative marking in that. We get about 25 questions, and on the basis of that you get your result and you will be declared pass or fail. So the next question is, can I come to India during holidays? That's a really lame question. Of course you can come to India during your holidays. How do parents send money? Okay, so this is a good question. How do parents send money? A lot of students transfer their money by online payment methods, but in my case, I have one new card with me in which my mother puts money and I can use that in tap and pay. So yeah. So that's all the questions right now. If you have any more questions related to MBBS abroad or anything else over there, you can comment down below and I'll answer all your questions in the next video. Stay tuned for the next video. Have a good day ahead. Bye bye.